to the idea that we can keep ourselves comfortable and safe all the time, that's really when we stop living. This goes back to this foundational principle behind fear, which is that as human beings, we need to understand that there is actually almost always something to risk. The process of growth and evolution is also a risk process. It's just that there's so many cultural narratives that tell us the priority is always to stay safe and comfortable and without risk.
You know, if I'd stayed on the traditional path, it would have been fine. It's not like it would have been a horrible life, but it wouldn't have been the magic and that I experienced, you know. And there was this thing about like, this was, the other thing was an opportunity to create my life. So, because what was being called for me to do wasn't, you know, a laid out path. So I had to make it up. I had to create it. And so there was that thrill and there was that terror, you know, of being in that place. Like, this is me creating my life according to my own inner being.
For a good maybe 30 years, it was like life was happening to me. I was more of a victim to it all, I'm like a perpetual victim. It wasn't always that I was mining the gold. Sometimes I was just, you know, kind of angry at life for what was happening. When I made the decision, like when it became clear, all right, the coping mechanisms need to evolve here. This is no longer working for you. And actually the voice that I kept hearing in my own head was, if you're going to be who you're meant to be in this lifetime, you have to stop and you have to find a new way. Okay, so all this stuff has happened. How is it actually happening for you rather than to you? And that was like a really considerable shift for me. It's a big orientation shift to life and the, you know, the challenges and the struggles that everybody goes through.
So on paper, my life looked great.
Yeah.
I was in a great job. I held a key leadership position. I was third in command in the organization. So high leadership position, making good money, had lots of friends, or at least people that I spent a lot of time with, had a lot of influence. My gifts were being used. So on paper, my life looked great.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was unhappy, like miserably unhappy. Something inside of my gut was saying, this is no longer right.
An inner wisdom.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've learned to pay attention to that wisdom more. Yes. But at the time, I was so used to suppressing that wisdom